What's up, guys? Welcome to the Hard Network podcast. This is a podcast where we seek the truth and we help men get better in the finances, relationship, and fitness. I am your host, Armstrong Sire. Quick announcement. This channel has not been monetized, so if you want to support the show, you can do that through our PayPal. The link is in the description below. Also, follow Hardpill Network on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the videos, and share with your friends and your family. Also, we'll be needing a chat mode very soon. We'll be needing a chat mode. So, if you want to help us, with our future shows, do well to DM us on Instagram. Also, every donation you make will be used to give you all a better quality show or get better mics, cameras, and lighting. So do well to support the show. All right. Kyle, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Armstrong. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. So, can you introduce yourself to the people for those that might be living under the rock that might not know who you are?
Sure, absolutely. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Coach Grant Cam. I've been a coach I've been a coach on and off, and I'll say why I've been a coach on and off. Informally, I've been coaching guys and getting coaching myself since like age 16, pretty much. I've always been a student of self development. Ever since when I grew up in Los Angeles, California, I would always ask my father about questions about life, about my life, how um, why are we here, and why are we here in California? Why do people live in other parts of the world? Why is the world like this? Why is the government like this? I was always very curious about a lot of things, right? And
Mm,
then I got to a point where I started doing a lot of personal development because I noticed there were a lot of insecurities, faults, and traumas of mine that I need to work on and need to address. And I went on this like path of like just trying to discover who I was. Always on the path of discovering more about myself because you know what you know and you don't know what you don't know about yourself. So it's always key
yes,
to
sir.
like learn more information. And formally, I became a coach for like the past like couple of years, and I've been but I've been like helping guys. Like guys would call me. I used to have like I used to work for my family, so I would be helping my family out with their business as my focus. But on the side, I would be like socializing, going out, helping guys with talking to girls, for example. And guys would
Mm,
just call me, and I'll be on the phone with guys, Armstrong, for like about like a couple hours. Be talking to a lot of people, a lot of guys, and they say, "Hey, Cam, your advice is really good." And I thought to myself, well, I like to speak. I like to be on stage talking to people. So I thought to myself, well, why not just go all into this? And the
mm,
advice I'm giving is good. I'm helping guys with their mindset. I help them with dating. So why not just do this? So I went full time in this and I enjoyed. And I run a company called The Grand Mail. My website is on the description below my name, so thegrandmail.com. And we focus primarily on the mindset of the guy. We focus on building their identity, help them overcome the trauma, the insecurities, like anything that's just holding them back, any kind of
mm.
toxicity, negativity, things that are just not serving them the best way possible. So I help them with that, and I run immersions where guys come fly to either like in the United States or internationally. For example, I had an immersion the last 2 weeks or 2 weeks ago at the time of this recording where the guys flew into the state of Arizona. We worked on all those things I talked about.
Mm.
We also have immersions in Vegas. We've had them, and we're going to have two immersions in Colombia, and we're having our first immersion in California, where we're going to be going to an electronic music festival in October. So we're helping. This is like very much again helping you talk to girls, helping you get better at socializing, helping overcome a lot of trauma and mindset issues. And last thing about my introduction, I do online coaching too. So everybody gets online coaching, and if they want to come to an immersion, it's a little bit of a different model for them to enter, but pretty much like it's open to like anybody who wants to come.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
So, do you do this full time or you have other businesses you do?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, do you do this full time or do you have other
Yes.
businesses that you focus on?
No, this is full. This is all I do. This is what I focus on, and I love it.
Awesome, awesome. So the big question, why do you think guys fail at dating and relationship?
Why guys fail at dating and relationships?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, sir.
Armstrong, it's a very broad question, but it's a good question. To narrow down as
Mm,
specific as possible for the guys that are watching this and they're trying to figure out why they fail in dating and relationships, because number one, they don't know who they are. And to break that down, they don't know who they are because that's a very vague response. So I'm gonna piece it down for the guys so they can understand better. When a guy is unsure of his boundaries, his standards, what is his role in life? What kind of value does he bring into someone's life? How can he be able to just serve the world better? Why is he not selfish as a human being? Why is he a
mm,
people pleaser? Why is he seeking validation and seeking acceptance? When you actually address these things and you understand the depth of your mind, because a lot of guys that live on the surface, they're not guys that actually are really working on their identity. When you have a firm idea,
mm,
Armstrong, of your identity, life is on easy mode. Dating women is easy. Getting into a relationship is easy. Marrying the right woman is easy. So if a man
mm,
understands himself and he's always going through self mastery of improving his identity, everything is easy. And the failure of a date or a relationship will go from here to here.
mm. You always talk about, being comfortable in your identity. Can you expand more on that?
Sure. Being comfortable in your identity essentially means you've released emotional baggage resting on your
Mm,
shoulders. Emotional baggage looks like, say, you grew up in a broken home and your
okay.
parents, for example, were extremely tough on you. Money was never around your family. You guys always had to work hard and go after it, and bills were not paid sometimes. That's a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
If you don't address these things and learn how to forgive yourself and forgive your family and just go, it's like a state of forgiveness and a state of understanding why these things are holding you down. The moment you conquer and address them, so it starts with addressing it, acknowledging it, then it goes into understanding why these things are holding you back. And once you
Mm,
understand the why and the how, then you can conquer it. And once you conquer these things,
mm,
Armstrong, that's how you become more comfortable in your identity because you learn that these kind of things they put you away from your state of authenticity. So a man who's insecure will fail in dates and relationships. A man who's
mm,
insecure gets in his feelings. A man who's insecure cannot be trusted by a woman that he likes. There's why a lot of like women string guys along because they know like the
mm,
guy's insecure. They know they could take advantage of him, and he doesn't know any better. And he's so desperate. And desperation is an insecurity. A man who's very confident in his identity, knows his values, knows his standards, knows his boundaries, he's not going to get strung along like that. He's not going to let a girl mistreat him, misuse him, mislead him. It doesn't exist in his world. So a man
mm,
who's very confident in his identity is abundant. He's a leader. He's selfish. He's healthy. He's sane
mm.
in the mind. And that's the kind of man every man should aspire to be, comfortable in his identity.
Damn. Wow. So how do, you know, let's say for example, I meet a girl, how do I, have control of the conversation, when she tries to ship test, me?
Great question. Posted a reel actually recently at the time of this recording. I posted a reel. I had one. I do lectures during my immersions, right? And as you can see, I'm like wearing sunglasses on this live stream. So somebody on this live stream could be like watching and be like, "Who's that doofus like wearing a sunglasses on the live stream? Who does he think he is? What a loser! What an
Mm-hmm.
idiot!" Right? A lot of people they will like say that kind of shit because first of all, you have a public Instagram page. I have a public Instagram page. We're both open to the public to judge us and
Yeah.
judge our content, right? So a person who doesn't want to be concerned about the judgment of others and also not be worried about not being able to handle a shit test. First of all, you got to be very comfortable with who you are, right? Because we talked about being comfortable in your identity
Yeah.
and how to handle a shit test. A girl says like, "Hey," like she goes, looks at me, she says, "Cam, why are you wearing your sunglasses at night? Why are you wearing it in a club?"
Mm.
When I see that, number one, I don't succumb to it. I don't say, "Oh, well, it's because I don't explain myself."
Mm.
First thing I do is like the moment I hear something like this, Armstrong, when a girl's shit testing me, right? And actually, it's healthy. It's healthy if a woman shit tests you. But there's two
Okay.
kinds of shit tests on a foundational level. The first shit test is because the woman is insecure of herself. The second type of shit test is because she's unsure of you and wants to make sure you're consistent in your character. Does that make sense?
Mm.
The first one, she's judgmental. Why are you wearing your sunglasses at night? Why do your pants look like this? Why are you wearing a hat? Why is your shirt pink? You know, they'll ask stupid questions like that. And guys can do this too. Guys can do this. I've had guys come up to me and ask me, like, why are you wearing your sunglasses at the club? And I just look at them and I'm like, are you serious? It's like in my head, I'm thinking, like, it's that bothersome for you? Like, if you wore sunglasses on a stream too, I'm not gonna be like, why is Armstrong wearing sunglasses? If I didn't wear any sunglasses, you're wearing sunglasses, I'll be like, okay, cool. That's what he wants to do. I don't give a shit what you do. As long as you're
Exactly.
respectful to me on camera and I'm respectful to you, that's all that matters, right?
Sure.
Okay. So, and we bring value to your audience, right? Because that's why we're doing this live stream in the first place. We want to bring value
Yeah.
to people. So, that shit test when somebody will ask me, right? Because again, we have the first one is the girl's asking because she's judgmental of others and she's judgmental of herself. The second one is because she wants to make sure you're the man you claim to be
Mm.
and you're not bullshitting her, right? So how do you handle the first one? You just look at the girl if she says something in the example of why do you like to wear sunglasses at the club? I'll just say, like, here's a good example. She has a drink in her hand. Why are you wearing sunglasses at the club? I'll just like look at her and I'll just like kind of look at her up and down, like, what drink is that, by the way? And then the girl will be,
Mm.
no, 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 no. Why are you wearing sunglasses in the club? I'll just look at her again, all confused. Like, I'm playing dumb. Just like, what drink was that? And the girl will be like, oh, it's a margarita. Awesome. Why'd you get a margarita? Why not a vodka Red Bull? And then
Mm.
there, I'm holding frame, or like, a lot of the red pill people like to call it frame. I call it identity, right? Because frame is temporary. In
Mm.
my opinion, frame is temporary. Identity is forever,
Mm.
right? Because you hear in the red
Sure.
pill community, guys are like, bro, I held frame, dude. I held fucking frame. Okay, cool. Congratulations, you held frame. You held frame. Like, sorry, my Google is talking right now. All right, there we go. Google's done now. Okay. So, bro, I held frame. Armstrong, are you proud of me? I held frame. Yay. Right? And I look at it as like, congratulations, frame is temporary. But are you in your identity when you're talking to
Mm.
women? Do these women actually know what you embody? Can they feel it
Mm.
in their soul when they talk to you without you having to explain too much of who you are? Identity is energy. Identity is everything. So,
Being yourself.
exactly. And here's the thing, you can be yourself, but you could also be a distorted version of yourself, which is a very inauthentic version of yourself. So even the
Mm.
phrase of being yourself, which I'm not saying what you said was wrong, it's true. I'm being myself in front of you right now. But a guy who's very insecure, it does not address his trauma and is screwed up here, and he's judgmental of himself and judgmental of women, judgmental of the world. Being himself is actually the worst thing he can do. He needs to change who he is and be a better,
Mm.
develop more authentic version. Authentic, I like to say, instead of be yourself, be authentic. Because when you're
Mm.
authentic, your true identity shows. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So back to that shit test example, right? Once you handle that, you control the conversation. You have identity in the conversation. Now she's in your identity.
Mm.
because she dropped the whole sunglass thing. And if she's for the third time like, no, okay, why are you ignoring this? I'm like, well, what do my sunglasses have to do with you?
Exactly.
What does it have to do with you? Is it disturbing your peace right now? Is it disturbing your happiness? And the girl's like, well, I mean, it actually does. Okay, well then we're not going to talk anymore. Adios. And I leave. Now,
Mm.
say for example for the second shit test, girl's like, how do I know that if I sleep with you tonight, you're not going to be one of those guys who's just going to use me? Now, that's a very important one because, we talk about in the men's community about last minute resistance, LMR, right?
Mm. What did you call that again?
LMR, last minute
Okay.
resistance.
Last minute resistance.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like an internet catchphrase in the red pill. They're like, "Oh, she gave me LMR, dude. Like, I was about to sleep with her and I didn't get to." That's usually what the red pill people say, right? So my whole thing is this. This is like masterful, diplomatic, and strategic way of handling that when a chick says that to you. When a woman says, "How do I know you're not gonna just use me after you sleep with me?"
Mm.
So the way I look at it is like, okay, where are we right now? I'm gonna say this to the girl. Where are we right now? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, where are we right now? She's like, oh, we're in your bedroom. Okay. Is this the past or is this the present? Like, are you literally here with me right now? She's like, I am. So we're in the present together, right? She's like, yeah. Okay. Was your statement or your question that you asked me, the question that you asked me about what if you're one of those guys that might just use
Mm.
me and never see me and I'll never see you again because you just want to sleep with me? Is that present? She's like, no, not really. I'm like, well, why not? So I'm having her learn. I'm gaming her up. That's what a lot of
Mm.
guys don't realize. Girls need game. You need to coach girls. So I'm asking her, is this, we're in the present. Your question is going taking us what? To the past now, right? And it's also taking us to the future because you're worried about the future of uncertainty. She's like, yeah. So you're bouncing around between past and future and you're not being present with me. She's like, yeah, that's true. And I told her, hey, before I got you here, before I brought you to my house, do you think I brought you here because we never talked? She's like, no, we did talk. I said, okay. Didn't we dance at the club before we came here? She's like, we did. Didn't we have just conversations about getting to know each other before we came here? She's like, we did. Do you think I just bring any girl here? Like, do you think I'm just going to go up to a girl and say, hey, come over here, and she's just going to come and we're going to go back to my house? Like, without me actually getting to know
Mm.
her? Do you think that happens? And do you think I'm the kind of man that would do that? And do you think just me saying, hey, you come here, come sleep with me, without having a single thing about, do you think that's going to happen? She's like, very unlikely. I'm like, okay. So you know that you're avoiding the present moment with me. You know that you're bringing your past and uncertainty of the future in this. You also know that we had a conversation at the club. We danced at the club. We got to know each other on a non-intimate level. Do you see? Like, so you're building a case to show her that her thinking is off. You're teaching her, you're
Mm.
gaming her up, you're giving her all this awareness. You're building a case to show her more awareness of what's going on right now. So I said this to her. What if I were to bring my insecurities and trauma to you? Like, what if a girl, like my last girlfriend, was horrible with me, mistreated me, treat me like
Mm.
crap, and I brought that into the bedroom with you and I? How would you feel about that? And she's like, I wouldn't like that. I'm like, would you find me still attractive and wanting to have sex with me? And she's like, no, not really. So I said, okay, can we? So now that I share this, what are your opinions on all this so far? So I let her speak, and she shares her opinion. And I say, okay, can you make a commitment with me that you and I will be present for each other? She's like, yes, I can do that. Would you like to continue where we left off? She's like, yeah, let's do it. That's how you handle last minute resistance.
Mm.
And does any other fucking coach say that kind of shit? I've
I
never
don't
heard
think
of
I've
anybody.
heard. I've never heard of it. So.
Not that I heard of, right? And that doesn't make me better than anybody. All I'm just saying is like the way I break down shit, what I just gave you right now, Armstrong, that was identity talk. That was identity talk. Because what we do in this world as men, one of our responsibilities is to inspire women, not just to have sex with them. We need to inspire women. We need to inspire women to be more feminine. We need to inspire women to be better human beings in general. And just having sex with women doesn't do anything. Unless that's what you both want. But it really doesn't do anything. Congratulations. Yay. What does this do? What does that do? It doesn't do anything. Is she learning? Is she getting more gamed up? Is she feeling better about her femininity? Is she going out there and crushing in life? Sex doesn't do much. So if the guys Armstrong learn how to be more within their identity, they inspire the women, and then any kind of shit test, failure of dates, failure of marriages, they go away.
Gone. Wow, good stuff.
Thank you.
So how can men stop being needy around women?
How can it stop being needy? The first question you have to ask for yourself is, why am I needy? And how am I being needy? And it all really goes down to, again, identity. If you have a broken identity, a broken foundation. So here's the thing. Let me now like give you a different answer, but it's all this. It goes into identity again. But I can give you a different perspective or different information, like a different information about identity, right? Every man in this world, Armstrong, needs a program. Everybody in this world needs a program. Everything is a program. So if I'm, for example, putting on this watch, right? Putting on this watch, how I did it, that's a program. How I drink this water,
that's a program.
That's a program. How I talk on the phone, how I'm seductive, how I'm using voice notes, how I'm posting photos on Instagram, posting videos. That's all a program. Everything's a program. When a man is needy, he doesn't have a program. When a man is needy, he's in the identity of the woman. He's not in his own identity. When a man is just like a puppy dog, like, oh my God, you gave me some validation. Oh my God, you responded to me. Is she going to respond to me? I hope she does. You're not even in your own program. You're not running your life. You're not managing your life. So for a man to stop being needy, he needs to be in his own program. He needs to develop a program in communication.
Awesome. Wow. So what is the best way to approach a woman? Let's say you're outside, you're in the club, you see a beautiful girl, you want to talk to her. So what's the best way to approach her?
The best way to approach it's very contextual, right? It's very context based, and it's not a black and white answer. Number one, I don't use pickup lines at all. I don't use any kind of like PUA lines. I don't use anything I read on Reddit. You know what I mean? Like I don't use that. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I heard something. I don't use anything on Reddit, or I don't use anything in particular that will. See, the thing is, when a guy uses like a pickup line, who developed the pickup line? Was it him, or was it somebody else? Somebody else, right? That's not being in your identity. When you're using another line of someone else on the internet to attract a girl to you, it may have come from you because you said it, but it didn't really come from you.
You said it.
And that's why women will have to shit test guys, because a lot of guys are inauthentic. A lot of guys they just say shit out of their ass to make things to sleep with the girl, right? So one thing a guy can do to connect with a woman at a club, some of the things I do is like very easy. Like I apply some physical contact. So like high five the girl. How's your night going? Fist bump her. If I have like a drink, right, I'll like tap her drink, give her a cheers. Other ways I could do it is like if I see a girl, like sometimes I see girls wear sunglasses at the club too, and I'll say, and I'm wearing my glasses, and I'll tell her like, hey, look, we're twins. That's one way. Another one would be if she's dressed in a very elegant way, I'll just like walk and I see her at the club, I'll just stop and be like, yo, wow. You look really good right now. You see that delivery I just gave? That's different. Instead of, See, when a guy is in his identity, he controls the pace of everything, Armstrong. He controls everything, right? Well, you can control, right? You can control your conversation skills. You can control when you first make the interaction, and you can set the pace and set the tone of how you want it to go. And if the girl is not following the lead of that, well, that's not a woman you should have in your life, right? So those are some things. Now, this is very important too. You remember how you asked me about how to stop being needy, right? So there are there's a concept I teach called the 5 pillars of compatibility. It's respect, humor, attraction, seduction, and responsiveness. So let's say I talk to a girl and I approach her at the club. See, the 5 pillars of compatibility is a program I created within myself as a compatibility structure. So say I approach a girl at the club. If I implement the 5 pillars of compatibility, I'm not going to be needy. Because let's say I find out her humor is humor I don't like, and she doesn't find me funny. Let's say I am talking to her and I'm trying to flirt with her and be charming with her. She doesn't like it and she's very boring. Well, that doesn't make me able to be seductive with her. Let's say like she's not fully respecting me. Like she'll look at her phone a lot while we're talking. Okay, well, respect pillar is not satisfied. Let's say in responsiveness, I'm like I'm talking to her, but she's not present. She's not like registering what I'm saying. It's just she's not responding like normal, like she would with her girlfriends or with a guy she likes. That's not satisfied. And overall attraction, do I feel like my presence is welcomed around her? Not really. So there you go. If all 5 pillars or any one of the pillars is not satisfied, I mean, I'm very low tolerance. So if I see not all 5 pillars are satisfied and it's not going in a good direction, I'm not going to be needy because I have standards, I have boundaries, I have a program for myself. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So, what are the mistakes men make that are costing them dates?
Mistakes that men are making that are costing them dates. I would say the first one would be lying to women, lying to themselves. Also, I would say lying to the first one would be lying to yourself that whether this woman is really into them or not having a plan is number 2, not having a clear structure on what your expectations are. Number 3, I would say just going about just winging dates. Like not having an agenda on what you want to do with the girl. Agenda, and I don't mean this in a negative way, just having an agenda like, okay, what's the plan? Okay, we're gonna go to the movies, we're gonna go eat, we're gonna go get ice cream, go to the bar, like what's the plan? And then the fourth one, which is a very important one, and I'm honestly shocked. Like I'm shocked that a lot of guys do this. They don't know what the hell they want from the girl. There's a lot of guys that DM me, Armstrong. And one of the things I ask them is like, what's your intention with this woman? I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Well, and I'll say, and I'm not making fun of the guys who say this, but I'm just saying like it sounds so clueless. Like that's what's costing them a lot of money. And you see the girls, they get pissed off about that too. It's like, what the fuck do you want from me, man?
Exactly.
You want to have sex with me? Then say it. You want to be my friend? Then say it. A lot of guys are not specific. They're not clear. So that would lead to the fifth one, which is not being specific in their communication, not being transparent. They're very wishy-washy, beat around the bush. So those are the things that are definitely costing guys dates.
Wow. Okay, so you said you mentioned men should not use pickup lines. So why is that?
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
Yeah, what's your opinion on using pickup lines on girls? You said men should not use pickup lines because it does not it does not it's not coming from them, like it's not like they're not being in their identity. So is there any other reason apart from that?
That I don't use pickup lines?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, all right, so what? Say I use pickup line. Now what? Now what do I do? What's the next thing? I can tell you, Armstrong, that if I use a specific thing that's come from me, I can tell you from A to Z what's going to happen after that. Say I use a corny pickup line. Well, I can't think of one right now. But say I use a pickup line. Now what? What do I do then? What's the plan? What do I say? What do I do? You know? And then here's the funny part. At the end of the day, when the guy uses the pickup line, is he using more pickup lines? No. You can't be like, hey, baby, you look like blah, 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 blah. And the girl's like, oh my God, that was so adorable. And then he's like, okay, let me use my second pickup line. Hey, baby. No, it's not going to be like that. So it's going to be a pickup line to get her attention. And then afterwards, he's going to go back into his identity and say, so what do you like to do for fun? So obviously, he has issues with getting the girl's attention. But you got to be consistent in your character all the time. You can't use some stupid pickup line.
Exactly.
You got to start from A to Z. If Grand Cam approaches a woman, she's going to get exactly what she deserves based on my masculinity, based on my identity, and I'm going to be consistent. Nothing's going to change. I'm the same person. So a man who uses a pickup line, Armstrong, is a man, okay? Here's the crazy part. He's pedestalizing her because he has to make sure that he uses some foolproof way of not getting rejected. And what does he do? He looks on the internet. Oh, that pickup line that whoever created would work instead of trusting his own self. That's why I don't use pickup lines. Anything that takes me away from my own identity, I'm not going to use it. And I'm not going to be friends with guys or be hooking up with girls or even friends with girls that are not within my identity. They're not compatible with me.
Wow, amazing. So, what do you think about red pill content creators, and their message?
You're just talking about what their message is?
Yeah, like they say a lot of things like I don't know, I can't think of one right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I used to be in the space, and I used to rub elbows a lot with a lot of red pill content creators. So I know them very well. What do I think about the message? I'm not going to say. See, a red pill content creator. I don't have really much to say about those guys, but like the message of the red pill, I can say that it's a very toxic environment. The red pill in general is extremely toxic. It doesn't serve any benefit to be in the red pill, in my opinion. I know there's some information that is somewhat beneficial, but
Sure.
a lot of what they say you can learn through a healthy group in masculinity. Like my community, the Grand Mailman, we don't talk anything red pill. And the moment a guy brings up the red pill shit, I'm like, dude, stop, please, just see the thing. That's the same with the red pill as well, Armstrong, is that it's like using pickup lines. You're going on the internet, looking up information created by somebody else to shape the way your life should be. I want to write the book of Grand Cam. And if Armstrong, for example, you want to develop, right? It should be the book of Armstrong, not the book of the red pill. See, a lot of people, they say that this is where the red pill is very dangerous. The red pill is the truth. It's the fucking truth, bro. How is it the truth? You're saying that someone who created the red pill, that's my truth? Do they have the same trauma I went through? Do they come from the same skin color I have? The same ethnicity? Like the same parents? The same friends? The same society that I lived in? The same reality that I lived in? No, it's not the truth. Your identity, Armstrong, is your truth. My identity is my truth. And you see things, we're going to probably agree on things, we're going to disagree on things. But that's what makes you unique. That's what makes me unique. That's what makes our identity unique. Our two different identities, right? So I don't believe in the red pill. And I think it has a very toxic side to it. Are you there, Armstrong? I don't see you. Look like your screen froze.